Okay,
Can Lianna
Suzuko.
run? Can I also roll knowledge local?
Lolly and local?
Yeah, well,
Lollies?
Again?
I'm sorry, I've got a third of a rum bottle in me.
so you both, having been through this, trekked through, and Lianna, you pull out the map and you give it a glance with Suzuko sort of trailing beside you, and you both look over it as you deviate slightly from the path, and you notice that the desert sort of dips a bit here and dips in and has a few markings along this trail.
Do either Suzu or Lianna know what the markings mean?
You, from your expertise as a privateer, as someone who had navigated before, you are somewhat familiar with that pattern of marking, where it's sort of the local route, if you will.
Okay then. Then Lianna just gives a slight nod at Suzuko and waits for Suzuko's response.
Suzuko, do you have any sort of input?
No. No?
We both realize the markings are that of a local's route, apparently.
Yeah, it should be like, yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
This is all good. We're good.
Okay, Lianna, having the confirmation from Suzu, pulls back up the map and puts it back into her shirt.
Zuzu.
Into her shirt. Just imagine her just like doing the boob thing, like
Stuffing it between her cleavage.
yeah,
Like, yeah.
cleavage pocket.
But because of the desert, sometimes she sweats, so when you pull it out, it's kind of damp in certain spots.
I don't. Hey, her pockets are kind of filled with other things at the moment. The chalk.
Okay.
No, not
So-
the those.
Those are
Never
the
picked
things,
those.
huh?
The chalk. The half of the kit ration she's gonna eat at lunch. And
Alright, so you...
I have a belt, but it's full of shit right
I
now.
thought you said you have a boat.
I have a belt that literally only contains daggers and molotovs and and
Christ.
chalk. Oh, and my feast tools and
Yeah,
matches. Fair enough, it's got a good bit in it.
Yeah, my belt currently holds a half full bottle of alcohol and the quarter full bottle of other alcohol and a dagger that I'm gonna sell. Suzu has a meat pack. Yeah, so Lianna just realizes she doesn't have room in her pockets or her belts, so she just kind of like tries
stuffs
to.
into the bosom. Okay, so it takes the better part of the day. By the time you sort of reach the outpost, the sort of outer gates of Jurada, night has well fallen, and all of you are a little spent and somewhat hungry, but safe and well traveled. So the sorcerer leads you all back into towards the familiar pathways of the town. You pass by all the merchants, the bustling. You notice that again the situation doesn't seem to have gotten better. There's still people sort of in alleyways and in corners, sort of struggling to find money, to find food on the ground, whatever's left behind. But otherwise, the city seems to still be thriving, still doing well, though tentatively.
Lianna gives a pointed look at Jules before flipping, taking out 5 coins and looking for a person that seems to not have eaten that day.
Okay. You find quite a haggard man with a little girl clinging to his leg as he sort of tries to pat her, and he seems to be looking around, trying to see if anyone is if any vendor is sort of not paying attention. And you approach him.
Lianna just takes out 5 gold and places it near them before bowing and backing away. She's not very good at charity.
He sort of gapes at you and he nervously sort of looks at the offering that you've left behind. But the little girl kind of excitedly runs up to look at the money. And her eyes big and wide and glistening. She kind of picks it up and sort of she makes to pick it up, but then she stops and then she looks up at you, and she gets to her short little stubby feet and she sprints to you as fast as she can. So she kind of awkwardly hugs your leg and then walks back. She kind of like squeaks "thank you" to you as she runs back to her dad, who hurriedly carries her and like bows profusely at you as he sweeps up the money into his hand.
Not to eye the cleavage window.
Again, looks pointedly at Jules. Not that. Not asking for the money back.
No, she's giving it to you because she's even more awkward about it than you.
God, what
I'm doing it, but
weenies?
I'm not interacting.
What weenies?
Out of character, Lianna has sort of noticed how you need to steal every single day, the last 2 days. So she gave
The
the point.
compulsion.
Well, I mean, it seems like it hasn't really come up as a need, though.
It hasn't
has
come up as a compulsion.
It hasn't come as a compulsion. She notices it as a habit.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
no,
a habit.
I don't know.
It's just an
Jules sort
ongoing
of
habit of
gravitates
looting
towards getting a little dosh. Just a
Yes.
little
Yeah.
Yeah, Lianna notices that.
If it wasn't for the int damage, Jules would already have picked a target by now.
bit.
Okay,
Batmega,
so my money
you're all
doesn't
back in
change.
Jurata now.
So my
and,
money doesn't change because of Jules giving me back 5 gold.
Yes, but Jules takes a bit of a -5. Eventually, you reach the guard post without a fuss, and the sorcerer in front of you, Veyron, knocks on the wood before entering. As the door sweeps open, all of you are privy to the sight of a sphincter sort of standing there overlooking.
Why? Why though?
Sphincter, with the last name being Tur.
Sphincter.
Mister.
So, but there's no proper way to address that, because if you call her Mister, it sounds like you're calling her a guy.
Mr.
Okay,
We
so
just call her Captain. She's Captain of the Guard, right?
Captain. Yeah, she is the captain.
Hey, Sphinx,
The
what's
commander,
up?
actually. Commander.
Commander.
Commander of the guards.
Commander Tur.
Yeah, as the door swings open, you see her sort of standing over a desk. A nervous guardsman kind of sits next to her, sort of shuffling papers around. She sort of is pointing angrily at one of the documents. And you hear her voice like, "This isn't right. There's something wrong here." And but before anyone can say anything, Veyron sort of quietly says, "I'm home." She looks up, and she looks at all of you beyond him. Says, "You're back."
Aye.
So,
She quickly goes up to all of you and clasps her hand on Veyron's shoulders, and they share a sort of quiet look at each other. And she nods at him, and he bows his head a little bit. And she looks at all of you, and she gestures all of you in. Come inside. Why don't we discuss what happened? So she leads all of you to a sort of a room with a table, sort of like a meeting room, if you will. And she sits all of you down, asks, "Is it okay if I ask what occurred?"
I'm going to speak up here because Jules is going to hesitate a minute because of her headache.
No problem.
Lianna just goes on about how they found the city supposedly deserted.
Mm-hmm. And she nods. Go on.
Before we found some survivors and people who weren't affected, and we investigated the city proper.
And she nods her head. So
We got our butts handed to us by an ooze.
She sort of.
We
she
only
sort
got
of
hit
rears,
once.
She rears back as
Twice.
when you finish the
Twice.
sentence, and she sort of questions you intently. Suzu, ooze? She looks at Veyron. Ooze? Veyron looks sort of ashamed of himself as he looks down.
Jules wants to butt in here.
Okay.
There was a psychic somewhere in the sewers. It
And
was it was toying with people. I think it got hold of your man.
She whirls onto you and she asks, "Psychic, could you explain more?"
Floating brain, it's an arsehole. I still have a fucking headache.
She sort of furrows her brows, not too familiar with sorcery and whatnot, but nonetheless, she looks back on Veron and she asks, "Are you okay?" And he sort of nods to himself.
Lianna,
They helped me. We need to get back to the village, he says. I need to bring them the cure. It's my fault. She stops him immediately. She slams her hand down the table and she says, "No, it's not your fault."
Lianna gives a small nod, realizing that's the exact same thing she said to him, and says,
Right.
It's not his fault, but he can still make it right."
And she stands, straightens out, and she looks at you and nods once, very confidently. "You're right. We all have an opportunity to make it right." Before any of you can.
Jules said her bit.
Okay, so while you're all sort of sitting there, she sort of opens the door and she shouts outside, yelling to River, "Bring the guards!" And the guards quickly scamper over, like hurriedly. And one of them sort of.
Can I pause you right here?
Yes, what's up?
I sent you a message that apparently you didn't read.
I'm so sorry. Give me a second.
Actually, I sent you several messages. I guess you didn't read any of them, but I think the first one probably doesn't matter anymore, but the second one might come into play before what you said just happens.
Oh, okay. No, message me in the group, in the real chat. I'm sorry.
Reveal to me your secrets!
From what you can tell, she had, Sphincter had no idea that there would be any sort of psychic or any sort of event that would happen. She doesn't seem to really know what had been going on, but she's very desperate to sort of fix everything that's going on. She seems troubled by something, but you can tell that it's not related to the situation at hand, per se, other than the fact that one of her sorcerer had been taken in such a way.
Okay, sorry.
As the other guards roll in, can Lianna roll perception on them or sense motive on them?
I want to sense motive as well.
Yeah, sure, roll.
We're not going to get better than Mega. 13.
Rolling perception with the +7. Sense motive makes it either 17 or perception makes it
23.
23.
So, which one are you rolling? A sense motive or perception?
What did you roll, Kira?
I rolled sense motive.
And that comes out to what?
Oh, sorry, 13.
Screw it, I'll go with the 23 on perception.
Okay, you perceive that the new guard that came along is scared shitless of his commander. However,
via the sphincter.
And he's very sort of eager to please and very hurried and very scattered. You seem to notice that he's very inexperienced, probably fairly new to the fairly new recruit. Kira, you sense that the soldier's motive is probably nothing more than just to hurry along so that he can stop interacting with his commander.
Okay.
All right, everyone good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, and so she commands him to sort of bring her all the supplies that we need. We're going over to Ahakrid and aiding them immediately. There's a wrong we must right. And Veron sort of stands up.
Is she making moves as if to leave?
She's not. She's sort of standing in the in the doorway.
Okay,
and,
I don't speak up that yet then.
As Veron stands up, he sort of says, I have to go with them. I know how to fix this. And she sort of sighs at him. Says, "You rest first." Yes, Sean.
I'm going to ask, how long do you think the whole supplies thing and everything else is going to take?
The supplies thing, they will probably the guards will probably work overtime over the night, and they'll be able to ship something out by tomorrow. And so you can imagine that it would reach the other settlement by a day or two. Okay. So she makes Veyron sit down, and she walks back over, and she sort of palms the table, and she asks, "So I believe we have to settle something about payment now that you've seen
Indeed.
to. How much?
That was the deal.
How much are you looking at?"
Right, out of character, what's reasonable payment for this sort of thing? Because money value, we haven't really
Yeah, it
set out what's
fluctuates.
worth what.
Yeah.
But like,
it
how
very
much?
fluctuates.
Going by, we are all part of the Pathfinder Association and have done
Mhm.
jobs of this
Right.
kind before.
Right.
Like, if I say 1,000 gold split,
You just have to throw out a number.
yeah, but
I
I'm
will
asking-
say out of character, 1,000 gold for this sort of thing at the speed that we're running is quite little.
Right, so 1,000. Right, opening offer 1,000 each.
So she sort of rears back. 1,000 each. There's 6 heads. Yeah. You want me to pay
Yeah,
6,000
you hired 6
gold?
people.
Sort of laughs. I didn't hire 6 people. I hired adventurers who could handle the job, and Pathfinder sent you, assuming
And we handled
more
the
of
job.
you needed. You did.
Your
but
own
I didn't
people
pay
could
for
not
6
handle
people.
the job. You sent 6 of
Hmm.
your own people, and they couldn't handle the job.
She sort of tuts.
6 people that could have a price.
Welcome back. She sort of tuts and sort of glares at you, but otherwise she says nothing. She holds her
What I
tongue.
miss?
We're sort
Kira's
of
demanding
settling money.
Jules is
Settling
angrily
money.
demanding money. Well, not
She-
demanding. She's requiring her price.
She sort of tuts and sucks in her tongue, clicks it. 4,000 for all of you, and that's because you brought him back. And she gestures towards Veyron.
Well, considering I was saying 6,000 without taking that into account, I think you would agree 6,000 is more than fair. I was just counting for the job done, not for recovery of one of your men.
She shakes her head. I didn't ask for so many people to come. I only asked for people who could do the job. Had you had less people, you would be able to earn more. How
If we
you
had
divide
less
the money is
people,
none of my
the job
business.
wouldn't have been done.
Had you had less people, but you were more
Everybody was
competent,
surprised.
perhaps.
750 ahead.
Out of character. How much? Calculations.
That's 4,500. 4,500.
Suzu, absolutely. You can
Yeah.
roll
But
diplomacy.
can I roll? Can I do that as well? I've got a 7 in that. Can we both roll?
Yeah.
Why don't
Sorry, what were you going to say, Megan?
why don't one of you aid the other? Whoever has the highest
Yeah.
bonus.
How does she, what does Inner Beauty do?
Good cop, bad cop. Inner beauty. It's a plus to charisma skills, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
How much does that bump yours to? Oh, +4. What's yours?
+2
Yours is
plus
+4.
6
Mine's +7 total.
plus 8.
If you want to. Oh, you end up with 8. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll aid you. You've got +10.
I rolled in the wrong box.
21.
I laugh. Okay, 21. So what would you like to say to her?
She probably says something about how it was one of her sorcerers that caused this, and if word got out that,
Oh,
Okay! That sounds more intimidating than anything else. Alright.
No, but she does it in like that sort of,
You're
like
very diplomatic.
shitlord way.
Sweet.
Like,
Very
Yeah.
sweet.
like we sort of we cleaned up your mess. We think
Right.
1,000 ahead is more than fair for when it's your problem. Like, just not to put words in your mouth, Nixxi, but something like, well, we cleaned up the mess back when it was just a mess. Now we learn we've cleaned up your mess. Like,
And she
never
sort of-
saying we're going to go public with it, but the implication there, this extra price is going to be paid because it was your mess.
She sort of stares at all of you at the impudence before she sort of sighs and her shoulders slump. And Veyron kind of stands up, kind of indignantly, but then she stops him with just a hand up. She says, "No, they're right. This is because of us, because we were not well trained enough." 750, you said it was per head.
No, that bluff was on the 1,000. Nixxi stopped me when I was saying 750.
So what is this on?
That was on 1,000 ahead.
Was it?
Nikki is at 1,000 a head.
yeah.
She stopped me from lowering the offer.
I honestly did not hear him say 750, just for reference. Like, no, I honestly didn't hear him.
Yeah, money.
Yeah, no, then fair enough. If you honestly didn't hear me, then it was for the 1,000.
She sort of slumps and just sort of gives up. She nods her head. Yeah, 1,000 a head, sure. And Veyron sort of sort of like tries to argue, but she's like, no, enough. It's okay.
Pleasure doing business with you.
What is this? If
I want to
if
give
it
Nixxi, I
saves
want to
our
give
city?
Suzu a high five.
So Veron quietly seethes as he settles back, but he knows that he's in the wrong, so he just kind of keeps quiet
Yeah.
and just fiddles with him.
He's in the wrong, and we don't like him enough to give up $2,000.
Okay, so yes.
Lianna claps both Jules and the half-elf sorcerer, because I can't pronounce his name at the moment, on the back, before she stands up and tells them, well, it's nice, but I've got some things to go sell.
All right, so
I really want to get rid of that dagger. I do not want that dagger.
So basically, Sphincter begins to sort of dismiss all of you. She says, "I'll go handle the payment. Feel free to stay here for the night and rest.
For my cash.
Oh yeah, stay here for the night. We have a local inn that you may rest in. One of my guards will show you the way." And as she exits, Veron slowly follows her out, and a guard comes along and guides you all out to wherever you need to go. And that is the end of the session.
Excellent.
Thank you
So
all for staying up so late.
Can we all add 1,000?
Yes, add 1,000.
Excellent.
Money!
Price. Yes, thank you. What's up? Oh. Oh no, Suzu. Suzu Suzu scuttles up to her afterwards, and you talk to Sphincter privately, and you tell her that, and she immediately agrees. She's like, yes, of course. We will of course be giving them a fair amount to rebuild as well. Thank you for your kindness, adventurer. I'll be sure to pass the word to them that you were responsible for the help.
Okay, since the session ends here, I'm going to take it that Lianna hasn't gone out to sell.
She opens an eye, and the portal to the Netherworld activates.
Because the session ends here, Lianna doesn't actually get to go on her little night bargaining journey. I take it.
To sell it, we can sell it in the off time, like between sessions, before the next session starts. You can just talk to me, or you can just sell it off yourself.
I wanted to say, can we? Yeah, I was actually going to say I want to put 200 into the group fund as well.
Okay, all of you add up your funds. Currently there's 65, and then you add 1,000.
Yeah, I'm sorry to ask this, Stape, but can you keep track of the group fund? Because otherwise we're going to get confused with having it on all the
no problem.